China just dropped a massive bombshell on Trump. Look, Trump, at 6 p.m., I will take up Cuba at any moment. China responds an hour later at 7 p.m. 60 plus years of US blockade have hurt Cubans enough. End the sanctions and pressure now. China stands with Cuba against outside interference. This is our final warning. If the United States does not back off of Cuba, China is gonna have no other choice but to join the war. China just dropped a
All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekaha, Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elder bishops of the great millstone who taught us his truth. I'm a servant, a friend of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. My name is Milchamah-ba, coming back at you with another video. And I'm just pretty much learning on this. Trump has these sanctions, okay, or updated sanctions, sanction on Cuba. Okay, Cuba was like they said, 60 years of this. You know, in America, always been, hard on the smaller nations, man. You know how it is; they the bully on the block. But everybody knows throughout timing, you know, chance happens for every man. Either way, good or bad. You have the bully doesn't always be the bully forever. Some small guy always ends up taking them out, or he always had, or to this point in the end of this kingdom, you're gonna have a lot of the bully gonna get jumped basically. Okay, so a lot of nations are gonna come against this place, and China is one of the big nations, okay, that has the same firepower, military might as this place does. Okay, so what I did, I looked it up, and I typed in Google Trump and Cuba news. So it's an AI overview. Said Trump administration has intensified pressure on Cuba, recently imposing an oil blockade and sanctions on its tourism ministry, including the state-owned Gavata hotel operation. These measures have triggered nationwide blackouts and critical fuel and water shortages across the island. The U.S. also investigate report Iranian drones in Cuba. So now I don't know what this Iranian drones. I guess I don't know if it's Iran siding with Cuba. I mean, it probably would have to be that because Iran is fighting the United States at the moment. So yeah, it's been a while. It's been a wild ride. And the thing of it is that a lot of people don't understand that these are the end times. And I mean, a lot of people that's not in the know is the regular citizens of the world. You have some people that's not in this truth that understand that this is how it's gonna go down, and to a certain extent they know that something's not right, and a lot of people line it up with biblical prophecy. Some know, some don't know, some have a point of understanding a little bit of it, but not to the full extent as the the men of the Lord. So let's go to scripture here. Let's go to some scriptures. Okay, I think I'm looking for is that Jeremiah 49? The hammer of the earth. Okay, Jeremiah 50 and verse 23. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become desolation? Become a desolation among the nations. Okay, and Babylon is referring to America, man. Okay, it says, how has America come to a desolation among the nations? Why? How? It's all through Yahweh Shem Shai. This is what's going to happen to him. It says, I have laid a snare for thee, and the snare is a trap. So these altercations that America is getting into with these different nations of people, this is a snare that the Lord has made for Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, okay, which is America. It says, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. So taken is meaning destroyed or taken out of the way. It says, and thou was not aware. And that's the mindset of America. They're not aware of what's going on. It says, thou art found and also caught because of thou striven against the Lord. Yeah. So ultimately, the Lord is going to take this place out of the way because they're striven against the Lord. Okay? And thinking that they got this high authority on their own account. Okay? But that's the proud. You know, the scripture go into the book of Proverbs. It says how the proud is I think it's Proverbs I think it's Proverbs 21. Is it Proverbs 21? Let's see. Oh, it's a couple. Yeah, this is the one I'm looking for. Proverbs 16 and 19. It says, better it is to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. No, that's 20. No. Slacking. I think is it 21? Let's read this one anyway. Proverbs 21 and 4 says, a high look and a proud heart and a plowing of the wicked is sin. No, that's not the one. Proverbs 21 and 24 says, proud and haughty scorner is his high name, who dealt in proud wrath. Okay, we'll read them all. He that is of a proud heart striveth up strife, but he that putteth his trust in the Lord Yahweh may be made fat. And that's not what America has been put. They say in God we trust, but that God they speaking of is not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is on their thing is on the left hand side. So I typed in Trump and Cuba. They got a few little things in here. Let's see what the Cubans said. Or the people of Cuba.
Citamos, ahora toca Cuba. Eres el único con cojones en el mundo para darnos la libertad. Venezuela libre.
So we don't really understand. I think they speak Spanish, okay, or Portuguese. And yeah, these are the Israelites, man. These is the Northern Kingdom.
Trump wants us to believe that the Cuban people are our enemy, but all I have seen since I have been here is a people fighting to preserve their dignity and their sovereignty.
Honestly, the most amazing thing about Cuban society today is that it's been built collectively from the ground up by the people. The reason that society here continues to defend itself against attacks and the inhumane U.S. blockade for over 60 years is because of the power, prowess, and commitment of the Cuban people. I mean, that's exactly why the U.S. policies always seek to target the people in hopes of causing dissatisfaction among them. The U.S. knows the power of Cuba's revolution resides with the people. That's why they've failed time and time again to destroy it. And when I say the ground up, I really mean the ground up for real, people. The neighborhoods are the sites that people contribute to the democratic processes of the country and build a culture of mutual support and resilience. Together, the Cuban people take care of each other. They ensure their neighbors with difficult life circumstances can eat, that the elderly can get their medication.
You know that, and to show you they're Israelites, man. These are the same customs that the Israelite were, performed, as far as, love thy neighbor and so on and so forth. So this is how it's supposed to be here in America, but it's not like that. Like it used to be, but America now. Let's see. I wonder why America. Let's see. Why is Trump block page? Against, let's see. It's like she probably could answer a little bit more than that. This is why I put it in correct sentences. But it says Trump administration oil blockage is maximized pressure campaign against Cuba are aimed at forcing significant economic and political. So basically, they just want to rule over there. Like they do this is what they do. They've been like this since the beginning of time. I think that's they have taken man's and they oppressed the man in his heritage. And that's another scripture I was thinking of that I think it's Amos. Let's see if we can grab that. We ain't gonna make this too long because the point is pretty much there. Is it Amos 5? Oh. Let's see. It's not it. Amos chapter, maybe it's 1. For some reason, it's making me think it's 1, but for some reason I'm thinking something of it. It might be 1. I think I should go back to Salaki. I'm sorry about this. Let's go to Amos 1. Oh, it's Amos 1:9. It says, "Thus said the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions against Tyrus, and for 4 I would not turn away the punishment thereof, because they deliver up the whole captivity to Edom, and remember not the blood of the covenant." That's not it. Here it is. Amos 1:11. It says, "For thus said the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions against Edom, for 4 I would not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword." And who is his brother? Jacob. And the 12 tribes come out of Jacob. Okay? It says, "And did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetuously, and he kept his wrath forever." So the same thing that they're doing now, they were doing in the beginning, of in the ancient time, they're doing today. So, he kept his perpetual forever, man. Even though these people over there, you see, that's the thing, though.
I just want to remind you that the Carmelo Anthony...
They always uphold this white Jesus. They still think the Messiah is a so-called white man, and he's oppressing the shit out of them over there. And hey, this is all through the Lord, man. I don't know if there's any camps over there, but I'm pretty sure, they didn't heard the word. The Lord ain't gonna do anything, but he's before he makes make a move on a lot of these tribes, man. You know, he allowed them to know, but if they probably ain't ain't no probably to it, they ain't paying attention. They don't care for it, you know, because the Messiah looks close to being like they are, so-called white. You know, and the Cubans over there, they oppress the darks, the dark Cubans over there, you know, and think that because they got lighter skin and straight hair, they good, you know. So hey, the Lord tell you in the scriptures, this is not what were the righteous cut off. So I mean, you know, and eventually all of that turmoil and oppression gonna come on us, man. It's gonna come against us, the so-called Americans, Judah. Okay, they lining it up, but you know, there you have it. So, hey, till the next time, Shalom.